Hey everyone, welcome back to Unfolding the Stars, Star Goddess Tarot Readings. I hope everyone is doing wonderful today. So let's see where Spirit wants to take us. So I wanted to talk about my dance performance. I finally got to take center stage and make that moment my own. Signs and synchronicities to blessings and gifts when we're following the right path. When we're doing the spiritual healing, when we're following that guidance, when we're loving ourselves enough to heal ourselves because we know that we deserve better. My inner child has always had a dream, and her dream was to dance. I've never felt more alive, more inspired, more creative, more everything in my whole entire life. So, as I have been experiencing a lot of blessings, I talk about a lot of, the problems, the issues that I'm going through, that I'm transmuting, to teach everyone, to help everyone to process. But now I'm sitting in a spot of gratitude where all my blessings, all my dreams, right before my eyes, everything is unfolding. Signs and synchronicities. So when I did my performance, when I finally was doing the healing to heal my inner child because I wanted to dance again, when I finally got back into dance and I started seeing that I wanted to be a part and participate, and I got asked to be part of a showcase last year for Halloween. Well, the first showcase was like a couple months before that, and I was scared out of my mind. How many of you out there have had the opportunity to get out of your comfort zone and to do something, but the fear inside you pulled you back? Well, that's what happened to me. So I was very fearful. So when I was contemplating about getting back, into my dance, getting back in stage, it was like signs, synchronicities. I made a friend and he was just so totally amazing. As we became friends, he started introducing me to friends of his own, and me and him started hanging out. And oh my God, one night, it's signs and synchronicities also, when me and this young guy, we were hanging out, and all of his friends, we all went to the hot tubs, and sat outside and had gossip girl time. And it was just fun getting to know other individuals on a deeper level. So as I was talking to these younger individuals than me, and we were having a good time, everyone was talking about dance and what they love to do and traveling. And these young girls are in their 20s and they travel from place to place. And I was just like blown away. I was like, wow, the courage these young women have, the strength. Look at what they're doing. And here I was a big old chicken in my 20s. How many of us out there, we want to travel and we want to see the world and do different things, but yet we're so afraid of so many things. So that's where I was. So as we were hanging out, in the hot tubs and just talking, more inspiration came towards wanting to dance. So as me and this individual, finally made plans, me and him, to go and start taking these classes together, he was unable to show up. He had a lot going on. So I ended up sucking it up, and I made it happen. No matter what, I sat in the parking lot for hours. I was very scared to get my foot in the door. So as I did that, I had faith that, hey, at first I thought this is just going to be fun. It's just going to be a workout. It's curiosity, wanting to know what this level of dance class is about. So I thought I'm going to follow the sign synchronicities and I'm going to jump in. For the first card, we've got the Teo. The Teo is always flowing, always nourishing life into creation, always presenting steps and solutions, and always reminding us that we are perfect in this moment. You are being guided to relax and allow life to flow. Feel the joy of release and the wonder of how easy life can be when we let go of fear and control. Oh my goodness. So, yes. So, as I was getting ready for my performance, it's taken me a lot of courage, a lot of healing. I had to really step back and see, why was I fearful of wanting to get back on that stage? Why was I fearful about wanting to dance again? Where was I at within that inner child of mine? So as I went to therapy, did the work, the times that I was laughed at, shunned at, that I was not wanted Nobody wanted me to be part of their teams. When I finally healed all those wounds, for Halloween was a big deal for me. That was my first step of my inner child and me as an adult coming out of the uncomfortableness. Throughout my life growing up, music and dance has always brought me peace. It's always been a part of me, but yet somewhere within me, it fizzled out. The spark kind of just went away. Well, as my daughter was growing into dance and just flourishing at every corner, every turn, choreographing things. She's flying off the handle with everything. You know what I'm saying? So when my daughter got back into dance and was doing her thing again, and as high school approached, more games, more everything, the cute outfits, everything was going down. I got inspired by my daughter, just seeing her grow, seeing her shine, seeing that me and my daughter, it's always been like me and her. She's like my twinny twin, you know what I mean? We look alike, we act alike, we are just so much alike. So when I saw my daughter dance, man, did that open up my heart? Did that make me shine? I wanted to dance again. I wanted to be free. I wanted to feel what that felt like. I wanted to go with the flow of things, you know what I'm saying? So as I did that, I started seeing that blessings were getting presented to me, like it says here, life into creation, always presenting steps and solutions. So as I was yearning, as I had wanted to dance, my friend came into my life at the right time, and I got my foot in the door. I finally got into dance. As I put my foot out there, I got into dance, and things were flourishing for me. I started taking off. When my passed on loved one passed away, I finally released him, not wholehearted, not fully, but years back when I got sober. I finally started the process of releasing my loved one because I no longer wanted to sit in addictions any longer. I wanted to heal. I wanted to come up and out of that mud. I wanted to be that beautiful lotus for once. I wanted to dance my way out. So as I began to feel that beautiful flow, to feel that creation, as my blessings started rolling in, I started seeing as I jumped into dance how nothing had ever left me, how everything was still flowing back to me as that one young child who held her dreams so close to her heart. It was like nothing ever drifted away. Everything was perfect at that moment. We are being guided to relax and allow life to flow. And as I did that, I was under a lot of stress, under a lot of pressure. Spirit says, how many of you out there, you have so much busyness going on, busy schedules, busy life, your relationships aren't that great. You've got a lot of stress, anxiety. What is it that you love to do that helps you relieve and bring some comfort and peace to your heart? Well, as I did that, as I got back into dance, I didn't understand what God was showing me. Well, the blessing beyond the blessing. As I got this blessing to dance again, to just fill my heart with joy, I was blessed with healing. I got to release the energy that I was holding on to. Within this dance group, I was surrounded blessings with so many beautiful women, young women, older women, all of us trying to recapture our youth, just trying to fill back in to whatever it was that we were looking for. And as I did that and I started to relax and just go into class with no expectations, when I first went in, I went in thinking I needed to be the best, thinking that I needed to be right where all the other girls were at, and here I started getting intimidated. I started pulling back. I started doubting myself, but I knew deep down inside that I was born to be a dancer. It was in my DNA ever since I could remember, since the moment I stepped on my dad's toes and we started to dance. I knew that I was born to be a dancer. Just like my daughter, when she was learning to walk, you know what I'm saying, for her first birthday. It was crazy. My son and my other daughter and my niece, they decided to make a birthday dance for my daughter. And she got up seeing them dance. And oh my God, the light that lit up inside me, my baby girl just started getting up and she danced. And she danced. And then she began to walk. And from that moment on, I knew that my daughter was going to dance, that it was in her DNA. It flowed to her naturally. We were being guided, she was being guided to her soul purpose. And I saw her when she was young. How could you not see I saw the talent in all of my kids as they were little and they were experimenting in life. I paid close attention and I saw what my kids were doing, what they were building, what they wanted to break and try to put back together, what I was watching. And as I watched, I was guided and I was allowing life to flow. I was embracing the moments when my daughters were dancing and cheering, and I'd get to be a part of their games and dress them up and do their hair and their makeup. And at the end of the day, my inner child was like, I want to be a part of this. You know what I mean? So as I started feeling the joy and getting in my dance class, I started releasing. I noticed that I come out of class tired and exhausted. I have a lot of issues sleeping, so I noticed dance was helping me to calm that. I was getting rest, I was eating more, I was nourishing my body a lot more. I was noticing where I was sleeping more. I was noticing where my emotions weren't so crazy. I was able to think clearer. I was able to come up with easier solutions. So at the end of the day, not only was I going with the flow and I was excited getting blessed with something material, going and having a good time and dancing and being around other individuals, I got blessed on a deeper level because I got to heal, I got to release, I got to let go at the same time as my inner child was playing and having fun, and the wonder of how easy life can be when you let go of fear and control. I never knew that. I was always sitting in fear and sitting in control. How many of you out there, throughout our life, we struggle through so many things. We worry about life, everyday life. We worry about our kids. We worry about us. We worry about our health. We worry about money. We worry about bills. We worry about birthdays, holidays. We worry about funerals. We worry about never having enough. We worry about people. We worry about how they're struggling. You know what I'm saying? So then when fear sets in, how many of us have control issues? Back in the day, I had a lot of control issues, you know, as it went through my family, circulated around, we all picked up bad habits, and control and fear became one of the big problems in my life. So fear did hold me back, and control. I wanted to control everything in my life. I thought, okay, no, I can't do this. No, I can't do that. I'm in control. I call the shots. I was only holding myself back from every blessing and every dream. As I was sitting in the fear, sitting in control, I was sitting in the ego. Therefore, my dreams were never flourishing. As I was watching everybody else's, my kids, my everybody, watching everybody else's dreams come true, and I'm helping them, I'm over here sitting in the fear and in control because I don't know how to step out of my own way and make things happen. So as I did that, as I started stepping out of the way, I started seeing what was fearing me. I started seeing the control. When I was in dance class, I started noticing where I wanted to control the moves. I wanted to be this way. I'm not used to having a pole in front of me when we're dancing. I'm used to my ballets, my everything with the bars and whatnot. So as I got blessed with a new opportunity to see how things were going to flow, you know what I'm saying? I said, you know what? I'm taking this challenge. How many of you out there are afraid of challenges, but you love the challenge? You work so good when you're under that pressure. So further, that's how I am. Serendipity. Oh my God. So yes, serendipity. Okay. So I am going to read a little bit from the book here. I'm curious, number 18. See where this goes. So yeah, as I was getting out of that fear and trying to prepare, trying to move forward for my goals, it wasn't easy, okay? So it means opportunity. Let's see. Opportunity allied aligned with readiness, the awareness of synchronicity, luck, and good fortune appearing as signs and symbols, a magical alignment of events. And that's exactly what happened. Oh my God. So, talk about signs and synchronicities, okay? So, as I finally got ready and I was, watching the performance last year and getting my feet wet, and God was like, this is an opportunity, a blessing you can't miss. I didn't understand why. So, as I was getting ready for this performance. I'm sorry if I'm jumping around a little bit, but these are the signs and synchronicities. So there's a young lady that's taking dance with me. She looks so familiar. Her energy, I remembered, her kindness, her words, just something about her, everything about her. Well, little did I know, she was one of the young ladies that was with us that one night when we were all in the hot tubs and just having a wonderful time. So as I was preparing for this upcoming showcase and we were all getting ready, we were talking, we were sitting in a circle talking about our fears, what we were worried about getting on stage, about how we can help each other, showing each other, the support, the love. And as we were getting out there, I began to cry because for me, dance is something very deep, very personal. I don't know how to dance without emotion. I don't know how to dance without meaning. I've always had some kind of reason to each song, to each vibration that I've always connected to, no matter if I sang, if I danced, it's always been some sort of connection. So the signs and synchronicities, as I was beginning to build up that courage, trying to understand what my fears were, I watched the showcase, the very first one that I got asked to do. I couldn't do it. I watched, I was nervous, I was excited, went back to my therapist, talked about, the fears I felt, the anxiety, the pressures. So I wanted to be ready for Halloween. Halloween was my big coming out, for my dance, not knowing what it really meant to me. Harnessing my goddess energy, working with spirit, working with my passed on loved ones. There's always a meaning behind a performance that I do. So when I was working on harnessing my feminine energy, understanding what it meant to be a goddess within myself, to know that we are all goddesses, that we're all gods, I was learning to love myself. So the dance, all the goddesses that I had been learning about, I wanted to honor that dance to my passed on loved ones that I've learned a lot from, from the angels that in the all the ancestors that I've been learning about. I wanted to take them forward and I wanted to dance. I wanted to dance for the goddess within me. So as I stepped out of my own way, signs and synchronicities, my costume, everything just started flowing in. Everything just started hitting the mark. I got ready. I got out there and I did it. I danced. The best feeling in the world. It was so much freedom. You know what I'm saying? It was so much luck. I was aware. When I got out there, I was afraid to falter like I used to. But I finally realized that being imperfect was perfect enough for me. So I had a little bit of, ups and downs, stepped on my dress, did certain things, but I showed myself that I had the courage to continue to keep moving forward, to not let nothing hold me down in dance, to not let it fear me again. Even though the fear part of me was looking out for me, I was healing it and I was not going to let that fear hold me back any longer. So as I got out there and I saw the signs and synchronicities, I knew that it was my time. I began to dance for Halloween last year, and at that moment, I saw that God didn't let me falter when I prayed to him, when I got fully prepared for my performance prior to my show. I prayed, I meditated, stretched, I did everything that I needed to, and wow, God had me every step of the way. As I watched my video, as I saw how well I did, and I was so excited, I was ready for more. I wanted to step out once again, signs and synchronicities. So as I began to pull back a little bit, the owners of the dance studio were like, "You were so amazing, Joyce. Like, we're gonna build a freestyle showcase around you. You inspired this. We want you in it." I said, "Okay, you know what? I'm ready. I'm down for this." If they took the time and they appreciated me, like, this is a blessing. You know what I'm saying? This is luck. This is good fortune. And I need to appreciate this and get out of my own way. So, as I began to do that, get out of my way, we got not for you. I began to see what wasn't for me, what was for me, getting ready for my performance, clearing my mind, getting all that clutter out of my head. Not only did it mean releasing negative thoughts, not thought patterns, it meant releasing ties to other individuals. As I've been releasing people from my family that have meant me no good, that have been just going at me hardcore, I've learned how to love and appreciate them from far. Even though I understand that my daughter's relationship and mine, that it's not for us right now, that she's still struggling and going through so many things, I still see the signs and synchronicities. It was so crazy. So as I was beginning to get ready for my performance, I wanted to do ballet. I always loved ballet when I was little. I loved the outfits and the just the grace and the beauty and the stories that were told with no words. It was always got it always had my heart. As I was always there with my kids, being with them by their side, there came a point where they no longer wanted me there. My daughter didn't want me at her game. She didn't want me to go watch her. She didn't want me there. It really hurt my heart. There were times that I snuck in anyway and I went to the school and I watched her dance, but a lot of times I didn't because I didn't want to disrespect her, but my heart was hurt. Every time I would dance, every time I would want to dance, like me and her, we would get out and she would want me to do performances and practice with her, and that was so amazing. But as I noticed over time, as we'd go to the parks and we'd go dance, every time I'd be dancing while she was riding her skateboard, she'd give me dirty looks and she'd mistreat me, make me feel uncomfortable about myself every time I would dance. So then there was another thing why I would shy away. I noticed that my daughter would cringe at me. Anytime I was doing something that my inner child loved, it was like my daughter would judge me. She would criticize me. She would look at me with dirty looks and give me these looks and like be like, "Oh, I want to leave. I want to leave. I want to go home now." Like stopping me from doing what I enjoyed. You know what I'm saying? If she was giving stuff away and I saw something that might fit me when I was going through a time that I didn't have money, that I didn't have clothes, and my daughter was going through her clothes at that period. So I was like, hey, maybe I can use her leftovers. And one day she got mad at me and she was like, I put those clothes in a bag to give away, not to give to you. And it really hurt my heart. So every time I got around my daughter, she intimidated me. And I'm not going to lie. How many of us out there get intimidated by certain children? You know what I mean? So as I was in my drinking phase, my drugging phase, when I was going through so many addictions, people began to bully me. I didn't have the power, the courage to stand up for myself anymore. I went within. So as I got over my addictions, I was still getting bullied by my kids, by everybody, because when we're drunk and we're in that state, people take advantage of us. They use and abuse us. Do you know what I'm saying? So I was afraid. My daughter intimidated me, but I wanted to shine. I wanted to just dance like my daughter, and I didn't understand why she kept putting a damper on me, and it really hurt. So I noticed that I couldn't dance and I couldn't shine my light around my daughter because she would make me feel bad about myself. So I had to learn that I had to learn to dance in private. So this is one of the reasons that I never shared my dream, that it's close to my heart, because my family and everybody have judged me, never stood by my side. They act like they're there, like, "Oh yeah, congratulations." But then there's the eye rolling and you see the and the swallowing and the dirty looks and congratulations and like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't tell anybody. So as I began to see what wasn't for me anymore, seeing where I had to keep dance to myself, my magic to myself, as these individuals let me go and pushed me out of their life, I began to rise up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna harness this gift. I'm not gonna be afraid. I'm gonna dance again." Not only does my daughter inspire me, but she intimidates me. She scares me because she's mean. And I said, "No, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna dance." And so as I began to spread my wings, I kept it quiet, got into my dance class, was rocking it. As I built up my confidence and my courage in therapy, I danced for Halloween. I was learning to release more energy, whatever I was dealing with all the struggles with my passed on loved one. I did not want to go back to addictions. And my only way to do that was to actually heal the wounds, the trauma, the inner child wounds, to find healthy ways, healthy outlets, not understanding that my dance was that healthy outlet. So as I danced for Halloween, I fell in love. I was releasing energy, getting closer to my passed on loved one. Somehow it was my connection. For the next card, we got all that glitters. So Spirit said, that all that glittered wasn't really gold. So as I was looking out to other individuals to help me, to hold me up, to see the shine, the light within self, everyone was dimming my light. I was looking outside of myself to have someone tell me that yes, you can dance, yes, to give me that permission. At the end of the day, I didn't need that permission. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize that people were being jealous and being intimidated and wanted to knock me off. So Spirit said, was warning me, see how there's two masks? Spirit said that a lot of individuals were wearing their masks, that they didn't want me to prosper. They didn't want me to shine. They didn't want me to step into that authenticity, that inner child, to raise myself up and be me. I had to understand that certain things were, that it was just glitter. It wasn't gold, that it wasn't for me, that I had to step away and I had to create my own gold, my own abundance. So, what does abundance mean to you? What does abundance mean to me? Abundance meant making my inner child glow and shine and dance. Money doesn't mean anything to me. Material stuff doesn't mean anything to me. What was worth everything, what was real gold to me, was when I stepped out on that stage and I was able to perform and dance for the love of my inner child. That was the real gold. You know, as I was looking out and seeing where things weren't really what they were, I had to figure out how to make my own abundance. Spirit says, you know, how many times are we out there trying to strive? We want this, we want that, but we're looking at it from a material points from a material point. You know, we're like, oh, I want the money, I want this, I want the fame, I want this. But at the end of the day, for me, that's not what it was. It was just about stepping out onto that stage and shining and glowing and trying to figure out what was fake and what was real for me. As I pulled away from a lot of individuals, you know, trying to see what was important to me, things started making sense. So we're going to go back to this card. Spirit says, you've stepped into alignment with the greater good, where your dreams and the collective dream resonate in exquisite harmony. Now is the time for luck and preparation to meet and create miracles that you could never have planned all by yourself. Keep in mind that you are a channel for providence right now, as a higher energy uses you as a force on behalf of the whole world. And that's what's happening to me. So as I've been embracing this, oh my God, the luck, the preparation, the creation, the miracles. Okay. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. There's this beautiful girl. She was afraid to be a ballerina. She had so many doubts about herself, but she gave herself that challenge and decided to get out there. I was very sad to see that she kept putting herself down, that she was like, if other ballerinas see me putting on my point shoes and you think that I don't deserve to wear them, you're right. I don't. I haven't been dancing as long as you. No, at the end of the day, you're a ballerina. If you got out there and you do what you do and what your heart says, you're a ballerina. Nobody can tell you who to put on, when to put on them shoes and when not to. You know. So we're talking, you know, as I got out there and I finally accepted the gifts, the blessings from the last showcases, God was like, you're ready for more. You trust me now. You see that I didn't falter, that I picked you up when I saw that dance, when I saw that I wasn't alone, that God was by my side as I danced. There's nothing that could tell me any different. My steps, my grace, everything that I prayed to God about, man, as I saw that dance performance unfold, I knew I was ready for more. So I got prepared. As this came up, we had 3 weeks to get ready. I always dreamed of being that ballerina since I was a young girl. The tutus, everything. As I got asked to be, you know, involved in it, we were all talking, sitting around. Well, synchronicities again. The young girl that we were all hanging out with long time ago, she was like, "You look so familiar," and she goes, "When I was crying in practice, you know, I was speaking about my fears. I was like, I'm afraid to fall on my face. You know, this dance is important to me. I'm dedicating it to a passed on loved one. Like, this means a lot to me. You know, the black swan, the swan lake. It's like my emotions, the darkness, the struggles that I went through, that how I got here to be that beautiful swan, how I transformed, how we're all working as a team, being part of something. I wanted to embrace it all. So as I did that, next thing you know, as we're sitting there, signs, synchronicities, I started getting downloads. God, Spirit was like, okay, you got 3 weeks. Order your point shoes. Order your Swan Lake outfit. Order this, order that. Now let's go shop. And I was like, wait, what? I've never been on point shoes, God. He goes, you did ballet when you were little. You didn't wear the shoes, but you did ballet. And I was like, God, how old was I? I was like 9 years old, 10 years old. And God was like, no, let's prepare. Let's create miracles. Let's get ready. And God said, do you trust yourself? Do you believe in yourself? Do you believe in your strength? I said, yes. As I have been in my classes over and over again, people have been telling me how strong my core is. They don't understand how I do certain things, and I don't even understand, but it happens. I always knew that I walked on hills. Even when I was pregnant and I had one car seat heels running through, I was always in heels. The most craziest heels, the heels that don't even have backs to them. I have the craziest heels. 8-inch heels, no matter what they were. I was dancing, twirling around. So as I was seeing, I said, God, what are you talking about? And he's like, nah, get your point shoes. And I said, are you serious? So I said, okay. Now he's like, watch YouTube videos. Ballet isn't as what you remember. You got to break in your shoes. You've never had the shoes. You got to break in your shoes. You got to get this. You got to do that. So I said, okay, God, let's start practicing. So I started seeing these videos on YouTube, seeing these professionals, that the signs, the synchronicities. God was sending me video after video. I started practicing every day, doing my ballets, repetition, not using so many videos, finding one that met me where I needed, and I focused on that. I had 3 weeks to prepare, not only for this part, but we had other pieces that we needed to prepare for. So I said, okay, God, signs and synchronicities, I'm not going to push myself. I'm going with the flow, the way that it said in the book earlier. I started going with the flow, letting everything piece itself together. God said, don't put too much pressure. Don't think too much about it. Don't work on it too hard. If you put too much pressure into your pieces, you're going to falter and you're going to hurt yourself. So I said, okay, God. And I said, God, this is really important. I'm on point shoes. This is very a delicate one. He said, I got you, baby. I got you. And I said, okay, God. And so I started noticing and I started remembering, okay, Joyce, you've worn heels your whole life. You run through grass, you run through gravel, you're chucking in. People are looking at you like, what the hell is she doing? You know what I mean? In the biggest of biggest hills, and I'm running through the forest and not falling. Like, I've always had that grace to me. So little did I know, I said, okay, God, I'm going to trust you on this. And you know, when we order things through the mail, how it takes forever? Nope. Little few days later, next thing you know, my point shoe showed up. Next thing you know, my dress showed up. How many of us out there have ordered things and they don't fit correctly and we got to send them back? Long and behold, everything fit perfectly. It was like those dancing shoes that were dancing to me and they fit perfect like a glove. So signs and synchronicities, God was bringing me videos of how to take care of my shoes, how to put my dress, how to thread it together when it came. Spirit was showing me, okay, this is how you got to flex. This is how you got to work your ankles. You're going to be sore. You're going to get cuts. You need bandages. I said, all right, God, I got you. So as I began to prepare, miracles started flowing in, and I didn't know what I was doing. I started listening to Swan Lake. I started embodying the music, the vibrations, the swan, the dance, the strength, the grace. I started learning about it. God was telling me, if you're serious, you're going to follow the signs, synchronicities in order to get this blessing to make your dreams come true. I said, okay, God. So I started following the books, all the beautiful signs that God was leaving for me. As I did that, everything was unfolding beautifully. Spirit says your fortune becomes everyone's fortune, and it really does, because me being able to heal myself and show that after so much trauma, after so much self-harm, after so much being hooked on drugs and alcohol, that anything can happen. Anything is possible. Not only is this benefiting me, but I'm hoping that it'll benefit the world, to help inspire others to co-create with their inner child, to make their inner child's dreams come true. This is what I want to do. If I can do anything at the end of the day, is to help you find your inner child, to help make your inner child shine and grow. I remember what it feels like to be that hurt child, and I see a lot of hurt children. Look around us, look around. See these sad faces of these sad children? Look to self and say, hey, am I one of them? Am I hurting? Do I need healing? You know what I mean? Spirit says that your fortune becomes everyone's fortune, that everything you bring into being now will leave a wondrous legacy for others in the future. Your service to the world is being supported at this time. Expect the unexpected and smile, for Spirit loves you so very much. And that's what's doing. I'm not selfish. Everything that I do for a reason. I do for humanity. I do for the world. So not only is my dance for me, but it's for other individuals. I spread my knowledge and my kindness. Even when I see other individuals struggling, I put myself out there and I put myself in their shoes, and I give them guidance, I give them love, I help them along the way. So at this same time, I'm getting supported. When I was sitting there expressing my fears, in class, everybody was like, "We got you. Do you need us to come out with you? What do you need? How do you want us to support you?" As I was giving back to others, they were giving back to me the support. The women were like, "If you need this, we're on it. You need this, we're on it." I cried. They embraced me. We talked. Everything. As we were leaving our final practice, that one young girl, she hugged me. She was like, "I hope you find what it is that you're searching through for dance. I hope you get that healing." It hit me hard, and I held it, and I said, "What am I looking for? What am I yearning for?" And I thought, healing. So as I began to think about it, I really sat back and started thinking a lot about things. Spirit says that. So as I started sitting back and I started preparing, I started hearing the songs, the musics that were playing. I knew that my passed on loved one was with me. He was like, "I got you. Just follow me, babe. I got you, hun. Like, let's do this." Next thing you know, I started thinking about my daughter. When I was doing this dance, not only dedicated to my passed on loved one, I started thinking about my daughter and the relationship that we have lost. Me, her, and him, it was the three of us, the last memory I had before I was addicted to drugs and alcohol and so many things. I remember it was the three of us. So the dance, I needed it. I had my daughter in my heart. Things were just unraveling. Well, as time went on, a few days passed, I found out that my daughter did a dance performance that I wasn't invited to again. And she did the same thing. She tapped into her ballet, did a performance by herself at her school, and dedicated to our passed on loved one. As I saw her performance, she gave me the courage, the strength, everything that I needed. As I saw her go out there and be vulnerable and be herself, I got over the fears. As I remembered my passed on loved one, and I thought, what did he feel in that moment that he took his life? The fear that they feel, the fear that he must have felt to be brave enough to take his life, takes courage. Something that I wish nobody would do, because we all matter. Thinking about my daughter and how hard it was for her to get out there and be vulnerable in front of everyone, especially recuperating from leukemia and getting herself back out there. I saw signs and synchronicities. I cried. I was so grateful that I got to find out about her dance performance. I was just sad that I missed it. I was grateful that me and her were thinking the same thing, and like not even a week after her performance, my performance was coming up. So I prayed to my passed on loved one, and I said, "Thank you for our baby shining. Like, can you help her? She's struggling right now." Signs and synchronicities. He said, "Follow me." I followed him. There was this beautiful Barbie. He wanted me to buy her. It was this dancing Barbie. So he wanted her to know that he saw her shine and dance just for him, the strength and courage that it took. So there was two. There was a pink one and there was a red one. And he said, "The red one's for you, babe. Take the red rose. Take the red doll. Buy my hita, my mija. Buy her the pink one and buy her a fake flower, because kids don't, the preteens don't, the kids don't like real flowers because they die. So I bought her what he told me to buy. I brought it back, and he's like, "Bring it to my mija. She needs this. She needs to know that I saw her dance." So I brought it to her. She cried, and he had me play the song that I was going to dance to for her. I played it, and I heard her crying, and I asked if I could hug her. He was giving her messages and bringing me messages, and it was just the most amazing things. At that moment, I thought of when he left us, when me and him both checked out from my daughter's life. I thought about so many things and why this dance mattered, everything that my friend spoke to me about, and I thought, I'm dancing for love, I'm dancing for healing, I'm dancing for memories, I'm dancing for truth, I'm dancing for love, I'm dancing for the world. dancing for my daughter, dancing for us. As I got out there and I got ready, my performance blew my mind. My shoe, oh my God, okay? As I got ready, as I saw my daughter shine, I got out there. My shoe would not tie right. So, being perfectly imperfect, okay? And being on my point shoes by myself for the first, really out there, I had courage. I said, God's not going to let me falter. I cried prior to my performance. I sat in the car. I did meditations for a couple hours. I did yoga. I knew that I was ready. When I put those shoes on and I danced and I did ballet with pole dancing, we don't take our clothes off. It's just an amazing thing for women. As I shined and I did ballet and I was out there on my point shoes and I glowed, I never felt more amazing. You know what I mean? I wanted to get on here and just thank God in front of the world and say thank you for all the blessings, for the healing for my inner child, to bring me to that moment to shine. When people are out there and telling us that we can't do this and we can't do that and we're this and we're that, nah, I don't think so. I was born to be that ballerina, like that young girl. If she ever sees this video, you know, when I saw your video and you took on that challenge, I thought you were so amazing. You were born to be a ballerina. She danced and she was young, and she may have been scared now, but she took off, and the way that she did that solo with that gentleman was amazing. And you know what? Don't put yourself down. There's so many people that could tell me, hey, you don't deserve to wear point shoes, but you know what? Yeah, I do. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how long you've been doing ballet. Matters who I am and how long I've been doing it within self, what I've been working up to. So we've got Between Worlds. So my passed on loved ones were like, let's build together, let's create together, let's connect that bridge. I said, okay, how do I do that? And he's like, dance. When you dance your emotions, when you're getting out everything, the worlds, between worlds, we're finally going to be connected. I've been trying to find my passed on loved one. I know that sounds silly, and he's been passed on, but somewhere inside me, I've been searching for him. I've been trying to get to him. I long for him. I miss him. When my friend asked me that she hoped that I could find what I was looking for, after I danced, I saw the way that I moved with grace, with beauty. I wanted to speak my story. I wanted to be that silent dancer, you know? As I did that, I saw that I created that bridge between both worlds. And let me tell you, it was the most amazing gift of my life. For the last card, we've got Mother Fears. Mother Fears is your guardian. Nothing can penetrate the passion fire of her fearless love. Your safety is assured in the midst of any apparent challenge or threat, no matter how frightening it may seem, no matter how insecure you might feel about taking a step on your spiritual path into more power. Know that you are safe, you are protected, and you are loved. And she was with me when I took them steps out there. As my shoe kept falling off, I just went with it. I was going. To get out there, to accept that challenge, to know what I was ready for, to know that I prepared. I was frightened. Like it says, I was scared. I took the challenge. But no matter what, I took that step. I was fearless and I shined and I hit it. I was graceful. Every point, every mark. God didn't let me down. Kuan Yin didn't let me down. My goddesses, I shined like the swan that I am. I shined. To finally heal that fear and get out and step out there, my shoe doing many different things, but incorporating it into my dance, harnessing it all, I was fearless. I was protected and I was loved. To think that I was out there shining on my point shoes and I was just this beautiful ballerina, the love, the inspiration. I mean, it was truly, truly amazing. Oh my God. So yes, the flow, always nourishing life into creation. So remember, everyone, nourish your goals, nourish your dreams, nourish yourself, nourish your inner child. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe that I was out there, that I allowed myself to just flow with life. as I got out of my own way and I healed my inner child wounds and I started dancing, I never knew that I could dance and shine as bright as I did last night. I feel the joy. I felt the joy as I felt the release to the pain, the release to the past, the hurt, the trauma, as I was speaking my truth through body, through movement, through creation. It was amazing. And as I did that, I saw how easy life could be when I let go of fear and I let go of control. When I let go and I was afraid, God caught me, and I couldn't have asked for a better performance in my whole entire life. I shined like the swan that I was, understanding what wasn't for me, letting go of everyone's negative talk towards me, and stepping into my own beautiful, authentic journey was amazing. You know what I'm saying? Understanding that me and my daughter, even though she doesn't want me in her life right now, and I know that I'm not for her, you know what I mean? Not just yet. But I stepped into it and I saw her beauty and I saw the energy and the vulnerability, and I embraced that. I'm taking that forward with me and I'm leaving behind the negativity. One day I hope and pray that, when she gets back from college or whatever she decides to do, that one day we'll get back together. You know what I mean? But right now, Spirit says that there comes a point where we got to understand when certain things are not for us, especially when we're going through a specific journey. As I'm creating, I had to see where my daughter wasn't very happy cheering me on, where she'd give me the dirty looks. My family would shun me and not want me to express myself. I decided to keep my secrets close to my heart and I decided to dance for me. I decided to keep it to myself. You know what I'm saying? The magic that was within me. And I don't know. I don't even know where to begin. And understand that all the glitter isn't gold. That when we think that when we're expecting something to come out of it, when it's something like I said, on my dancing and my ballet, I wasn't expecting something huge. I'm not expecting money. I'm not expecting something to come about out of this. What I'm expecting for the abundance was to just see my inner child shine and dance and glow. To see that healed version of my inner child. Now that is the gold. Spirit says, don't look outside of yourself, because when we think that getting praised or getting seen, getting acknowledged, when we're stepping out there for the wrong reason, for money, for fame, we're doing it for the wrong reason. That glitter is not the gold. Because if we're looking for just what we can get out of this, we're not going to succeed. We're not going to make it to what we want it to be, that gold, that solid gold. So in order to get that gold, to make it be gold, you got to understand what is the true gold. And that gold is you, your inner child. It's not the money, it's not the praises, it's you. It's what you've done to heal yourself, to hold yourself up, to get yourself out there, to not need nobody else to tell you how good or how bad you are. You got you. You are the gold. Fool's gold is outside of you. The true blessing, the true gold is within self. Remember, when you're on the right path, you're going to see signs, synchronicities the way that I did. I started getting downloads in my head. I started hearing, do this, do that, go get this costume, go do that. Next thing you know, there's my daughter dancing the same dance to a different song, but dedicating it to someone that we love, that we are both connected to. Thinking about my daughter, everything that was flowing together, and that dance that I did, I danced for my daughter and I danced for our passed on loved one and what we had. I followed the signs, the synchronicities, and the blessings that have unfolded. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better performance, even though my shoe kept coming off and I kept stopping. I saw the difference from the first performance. I had that strength, I had that confidence. I said, all right, shoe, you ain't going to win. I got this, baby. And I did it. I was ready. And when I did that and I had faith that God had me, that my shoe was not going to damper me, I'm the type of person that likes to go, go, go. So I decided to do ballet too because it slows me down. I wanted to connect heaven and earth, to connect both worlds, between worlds. I was in between both worlds. So there I am, standing on my tippy toes, getting ready to bounce out. I was like, I'm ready, God. I'm ready for my blessings. Next thing you know, I'm between worlds, popped up on both toes, and bam, baby. I wasn't between worlds anymore. I was connected. God was carrying me. Kuan Yin was carrying me. I was dancing like I wouldn't believe. If we don't have faith and confidence in yourself, you'll never know what you can accomplish. The fire, that determination, the goals that I set for myself, never could I have imagined, and never could I have ever done it without the grace of God and Spirit. I can't tell you the blessings that are unfolding, and I just say, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, passed on loved ones, because I couldn't do it without them. You know, Kuan Yin was there for me. I mean, oh my God, to feel that fire within me was amazing. To feel fearless, to feel safe. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling them challenges because I saw there's certain individuals at my dance that don't like me either, that feel threatened and intimidated. So I could feel the negative energy. So before I got on stage, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to get hit by that negative. That's why I prayed, did my yoga, went into my states, because you don't need anyone's negative getting to you. If you're not fully prepared and in that state, things aren't going to go as planned. You got to be ready. So I did. I got in that right mindset, mind, body, soul, baby, and I was ready to go. And as I did that, I called on Kuan Yin, all my angels and ancestors, and I said, look, I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do this. And I said, is my safety first? Is my safety okay? God was like, yeah, baby, I got you. You're safe. You know it. We know it. You've been working with other individuals. We got you, baby. I said, okay. So as I got out there, I wasn't afraid anymore. Even the girls were like, you're so calm. You're so poised. You're so calm today. You got this. I said, I'm ready. I've been mentally, physically, and emotionally preparing for this. You know what I'm saying? No matter what, no matter how insecure I felt, no matter how many times that shoe fell off, I had to finally just go with the flow. My performance wasn't exactly to what I wanted it to be, but it was all that I could have ever dreamed. It was more, even with my shoe coming off. Learning that being perfect means not being perfect. I was actually honored that my shoe came off, and I was glad because it taught me how to be courageous, taught me how to not get intimidated. It taught me how to stand up and be like, okay, things happen. You know what I mean? But I did it, and I stepped in like a spiritual monster, and I just went with the flow. So Spirit says, no matter how insecure we might feel about taking a step into our spiritual path, into more power, know that we are safe and we are protected and we are loved. And I was so safe. I was so protected. I was so loved. I couldn't imagine doing it without them. I hit everything on point, every step. Everything was amazing. And I was fierce. I was fierce. So to everyone out there, I just want to share these blessings, the signs, the synchronicities, the journey of what it looks like after we've done a lot of the hard work. God starts opening up so many doors and guiding us in so many directions. God gave me that key, and finally I used it, and I started opening up tons of doors. People are seeing my beauties. People are seeing that I'm authentic. Doing ballet with my pole dancing, I blew people's minds. Like, it was the most amazing, exhilarating feeling in my whole entire life to incorporate so many different styles and be me. You know what I'm saying? I used that key. God kept telling me, you got a big door, baby. And you're trying to use that big key on a little door like that ain't going to work. I said, what are you talking about? He's like, trust me. You're going to know when to use that key. Long and behold, I was ready. And Friday night, I used that key. I stepped onto that stage and I was able to shine. So, take that time, everyone. Don't be afraid. Be in that yin energy. I had to. When I was flowing with life, I had to sit in that yin energy. And this is actually one of the cards that came up when I was getting ready for my ballet performance. Purple has been coming to me. I've been seeing a lot with my third eye. But being able to sit in my yin, my feminine energy, helped me to be very graceful and poised and create all that I wanted to be. I had an unfinished symphony and I finished it. I finally get to walk off hearing that symphony of my passed on loved one, myself, and my daughter, combining all that I felt, feeling that I had that symphony that was not finished, all the hurt, all the pain. I danced it out and I said, I'm finishing my symphony because I'm ready to dance forward into a new dance, into a new beginning. So if you're ready to get up and get out there, Do whatever project, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever you feel that you have an unfinished symphony about, make it happen. When we're ready and we dance it out, or whatever feeling that it is, now that I've finished that unfinished symphony, I'm ready to begin another one. And I've never felt more happy, more loved. My passed on loved one was supporting me this whole journey, and he's like, "It's time we get it together. It's time that you learn to love again. It's time, because I want you to be loved." He wants to bring someone to me, and I think finally now I'm fully getting ready. You know what I'm saying? So that unfinished symphony, it's no longer unfinished. It's more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. So thank you everyone for being here with me today, everyone. Love and light. Take care.